Adding using the expanded form strategy. Find the sum of 10,553 and 24,576. So I know from my schema when I see the word sum that I have to add. So I'm going to make a little model or a plan up here, make it kind of small, just to help me remember what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 10,553 plus 24,576 equals S. And that S just represents what I'm trying to find, or my unknown, which in this case is the sum. So in expanded form, we're going to stretch out both of these pretty big numbers to make them a little bit easier to add and think about. So I'm going to start in the ones place with this 10,553 because that's a little bit easier for me to think about. And I'm going to think about the value of each number depending on its place value. So for example, this 3 is in the ones place. So the value of the 3 is 3 ones, or just 3. Now when we go over to the tens place, we have 5 tens. And 5 tens is equal to 50. So 5 tens is equal to 50. Next, I'm going to go to the next place value, which is the hundreds place, and we also have a 5 there, but the value of this 5 is 5 hundreds, or 500. So, right, 500. Next, we're going to the thousands place, but if you look, there's a 0 in the thousands place. I'm still going to write that 0 and kind of use it as a placeholder because that's going to be important so I don't get confused later. And last, we have the 10,000s place, and we have a 1 in the 10,000s place. So 1 10,000 is the same as 10,000. So now I have that number in expanded form, and I'm going to move on to my second addend. So my other addend is 24,576. And this time I'll start with the highest place value, the 10,000s. It doesn't matter as long as you go in order and it makes sense to you. So this 2 represents 2 10,000s, or 20,000. Next, we have a 4 in the thousands place. So 4 thousands is the same as 4,000. Make sure you have your comma in there. Next, we have a 5 in the hundreds place. So 5 hundreds is the same as 500. Then we have 7 in the tens place. So 7 tens is the same as or equal to 70. So we have plus 70. Make one big long addition equation that should add up to our original number. And then in the ones place, we just have a 6. So 6 ones is the same as 6. That one doesn't change. Oop. So now we are ready to add. So I'm going to rewrite my numbers, and I'm going to make them a little bit bigger just so they're easier to work with, and I'm going to make sure I line up my place values. So I'm going to start with 20,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 70 plus 6. I'm leaving some space in between just so I stay organized. And then I'm going to put my other addend in expanded form right below it. So I have 10,000 with this 0. I want to make sure it's lined up. So I'm going to put that 0 there, and I'm going to make some space and line up my plus signs so that my 500 and my other hundreds place, also 500, are both lined up. Then I have a 50 in the tens place and a 3 in the ones place. Now this kind of starts to look like what some people call stacking or standard algorithm or standard method, where we're just going to add the numbers up and down. And we're always, when we're adding, no matter what strategy you're using, starting in the ones place. So if I start in the ones place here, 6 plus 3 equals 9. Then I'm going to go to the tens place, 50 plus 70. So I know from my schema, I can add 7 plus 5 a little bit easier. And I'm going to start at 7 and count on 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can do the same thing with 70 and 50. I can say 70 plus 5 more 10, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So 50 plus 70 equals 120. Next, I have 500 plus 500. And I can do the same thing there with my counting on. I can think 500 plus 5 more hundreds is 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Or I can just think about place value and think, well, 5 plus 5 is 10, and the other numbers are just zeros in those 500s. So I'm going to just move up that next place value, and I'll have 10,000 or 1,000. 500 plus 500 is 1,000. 4,000 plus 0 is 4,000. And 10,000 plus 20,000. What I do here is I think, well, I know 10 plus 20 is 30. And all the other numbers are zeros in that number, so they're going to stay the same. So 10,000 plus 20,000 equals 30,000, kind of like 10 plus 20 equals 30. So now I have my sum in expanded form, and I want to figure out what it is in standard form. So I can just add up my numbers like this. 30,000, 4,000, 1,000. Wait a minute, 129? That does not look right, does it? Because then I would have 341,129. No, that's way too big. That doesn't make sense. So I need to add my numbers accurately when I'm putting this number back into standard form, or how normal numbers normally look. So you can stack the numbers if you choose to. That's one way, and just add with standard form. Please make sure you stack only 2 numbers at a time. Otherwise, you're likely to make mistakes. What I find that's a little more efficient is to add the numbers with these little arrows to show I'm combining them. So I'm going to do 30,000 plus 4,000. So 30 plus 4 is 34. The rest of the numbers are zeros. So I just have 30,000 plus 4,000 equals 34,000. Then I'm going to add a 1,000 to that number because they're all in the thousands place there. So 34,000 plus 1 more 1,000 is equal to 35,000. And now I know that 120 plus 9 equals 129. And now I can just add those 2 numbers pretty easily in my head. And so our sum is going to be equal to 35,129.